All right, let's get into Friday feedback for the week. Friday, we look at emails, comments, feedback of all kinds. You can always email info@davidpakman.com if you have something to say, but sometimes it'll be a YouTube reply or a Facebook comment or whatever. All forms of feedback are accepted, although we try to limit the trolling as much as we can. I do often start with a couple of negative comments just to show you I'm not scared of them. Not scared at all. Bobby says David Beckman is a socialism prick. Now, you might be saying, David, why are you even giving this guy the time of day? Here's the reason I just want to, the socialism stuff really gets me. There are people furious at me because they wrongly believe that I am a socialist. I'm not. And there are people who are furious with me because they understand that I'm not a socialist, but they want me to be, and they think I should be. I'm so sorry, everybody. As I laid out on Monday, I support a regulated form of capitalism called social democracy. It's not socialism, and it is not unrestricted capitalism. Also from Rick, just as a very brief detour from getting back to substance, Rick wrote in, "You really suck and you're ugly." Of course, it's the wrong "you're." So he's saying something about my ugly, an ugly that I possess, rather than you are ugly. Why do these people never get that right? Is it as simple as it's an educational matter? I don't know. All right, now let's get into some more substance. Whoremaster Falco wrote, what a username, on the subreddit, "Why does David keep saying Trump is causing the downfall of democracy? I've been a longtime listener of David, and I'm particularly fond of his logical perspectives on political issues, but he's repeating a line recently that doesn't quite make sense to me. He says that Trump is a sign that democracy is failing, but Trump was literally elected by the overwhelming majority of Americans. How can someone who was democratically elected be the downfall of democracy? Please do not use Hitler as an example. I hate Trump, but Trump isn't Hitler." Well, you know what? I will not use Hitler. A couple things here. First of all, you need to be a little more careful with your use of literally. Trump, let's look at the word. Trump was literally elected by the overwhelming majority of Americans. First of all, there's 340 million Americans. A majority would be 170 million Americans plus one. Trump didn't get anywhere near 170 million votes. So was Trump voted in by the majority of Americans? No. Of course, those under 18 can't vote. So if you eliminate them, it's not 340 million Americans, it's some smaller number. But was Trump voted in by even more than 50% of the eligible voters? No. And then you go to people who actually voted. What percentage of the vote did Trump get? Under 50%. Trump wasn't even voted in by a majority of those who voted. So when you pull out the word literally, we're going to look at that, and you are very wrong. Now, has been my view. Trump won democratically. How could he be the downfall of democracy? Well, you can win democratically and then subvert democracy by imposing authoritarianism. I think that this entire conversation actually misses the point, which is what matters is how individuals govern and what they support. It is a very common thing, without going to Hitler, that wannabe authoritarians win democratically, often using bogus populist rhetoric, and then subvert democracy with authoritarianism. Now, to what degree will Trump do that? We'll have to see. When you look at these no due process deportations, when you look at people being snatched up on the street, when you look at Trump deferring to strongmen dictators and increasingly putting distance with Democratic allies, all of these are subversions of democracy. Will it culminate in Trump, getting a third term like he's now talking about? Remains to be seen, but I'm doing everything I can to be careful with my language. I would suggest people who write in criticizing do the exact same thing. Okay, from TikTok, where we now have surpassed 1 million followers, Ben Dover says, seeing how quickly MAGAs turn on their own over the slightest opposition to Trump, Coney Barrett, Massey, now Laura Ingraham, is probably the craziest thing I've witnessed in politics. Well, here's the thing, Ben. As I've spoken about many times, one of the things that the right gets correct is that when they're trying to win an election, if you're a historical Democratic voter and you go, there's this one little thing I don't love about what Biden did, they welcome you with open arms. Now, as soon as they win, it explodes, okay? But at least for the purposes of winning elections, they welcome everybody. The left often says, you disagree with me on one thing, you're out. Whereas the right goes, you only agree with us on one thing and you're skeptical of your side's leadership, you're welcome, you're in. Okay. But then here's the other aspect of it. Once they start governing, it always goes haywire. And then the purity tests do start. So it's not surprising, Ben, and I know this person's name is not really Ben. It's not surprising, Ben, if you've been paying attention. Overthinking Millennial says nothing new here. My question is how long until the American people start protesting and safeguarding their once great country? Sad days around the world. Well, you know what? Tomorrow, there are nationwide protests, the hands-off protests. I've been talking about it. It's an opportunity to get out there and protest to safeguard the framework and foundations of this country. We'll see over the weekend the amount of support that they get, and we will talk about it on Monday. But this is a big topic in my book, which is activism that works. Voting, great. We should all vote. Signing petitions doesn't do much. Okay. What forms of activism really do make a difference? Mass rallies in urban centers historically is one of them. So we will see how it all goes. Jonathan Wood says about the audiobook for my book, thank you for narrating yourself. I like having a physical copy, but I listen a lot while working and always get the audio first. Yeah, if I'm totally honest, narrating the book was probably the hardest part because it is exhausting. It is just exhausting. But I am glad I did it. We all were on the same page. If I have a podcast where people are used to hearing my voice and then some third person narrates the book, it wouldn't really make any sense. So I did narrate it. That is indeed what we did. Noel Xum says the following about the book. I can't wait for anybody to give me or interpret this book for me. I don't even think liberals can read, or at least ability to comprehend. It's funny to talk about other people not being able to read when this person can barely write. No one will really buy this book unless the pages are toilet paper grade in texture. Liberals can wipe their asses with it and then feed themselves with it. One of the things that is triggering a lot of people is they're just furious that the book is doing so well. When we first were at 3,000 pre-orders, then 3,500, I started getting people writing in going, oh, David, you bought 3,500 copies of your own book. And I explained, not only did I not do that, that would be like $70,000. But more importantly, if you buy your own book in bulk, none of those copies count towards any of the bestseller lists. It's one of the great ways to torpedo your own book. So, maybe read a couple books yourself, sir. You seem to be struggling as far as reading and writing goes. All right, Skip Laney wrote in and says, it's hilarious watching Pakman Fabrication Factory Propaganda Center dare try and compare Trump's disorientation to Joe Biden, the dementia patient, oatmeal-brained mess that couldn't finish complete sentences, remember what to say, where to go, and had the administration staff, Obama, auto-sign and run the country. Quite frankly, I was shocked by how stupid the Democrat Party was choosing Biden over several far, far more qualified candidates. But on the bright side, it was fun seeing Biden as the first president in history to mimic a Roomba vacuum after every attempt at giving a speech. Well, you know what? We're not comparing Trump's disorientation to Joe Biden. We dealt with Biden from the beginning. I did not think that Biden should run for re-election. There was a point at which he was running where I calculated he had the best shot. after the debate. He no longer did. And I told my audience that. The one thing you can count on, Skip, is that I am always going to tell my audience how I see it. And if how I see it changes, I will tell you. Count on that. You can set your watch to that. Now, meanwhile, I think it would be useful or at least consistent if the people who believed that Biden was the poster child of lack of mental acuity would weigh in at least a little bit on the constant cognitive glitches and failures of Donald Trump. Just cover both, okay? And then I would find you much more consistent and believable. All right, info@davidpakman.com. If you have anything you want to say, let me know if you are going to be participating in the hands-off protests this weekend. Let me know if you've bought the book, The Echo Machine, available everywhere books are sold, audiobook, ebook, hardcover. Barnes & Noble originally said they were getting 2 copies per store. They apparently have gotten 3 copies per store. Whether there are any left at your local Barnes & Noble, I just don't know. But we will have updated numbers next week. Remember to review the book, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Goodreads. And I look very much forward to seeing you on the bonus show and also right back here next week. Have a good weekend. After researching, writing, refining, The Echo Machine, my book, is finally out. This is not just a book about how American politics got so broken. It's also about what's happening right now and what we can still do to stop things from getting worse. Trump's been back in power. The results have been even more catastrophic than many feared, with targeting of political opponents and gutting democratic institutions, laying the groundwork to even further consolidate power. But the thing is that none of this is inevitable. The same forces that brought us here can be countered if we understand how they work and what to do about them. And that's what The Echo Machine is all about. Some say that without corporate media backing, books like this can't succeed. I think we can prove them wrong. You can get The Echo Machine right now at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, or by calling any local bookstore and asking them to order it. This book is more important than ever. If you care about what happens next, and I do, check out The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo.